Hey guys, it's Steph, and today I'm going to be showing you my very easy, everyday 10-minute makeup routine. That's right, I can get this down in 10 minutes, so if I need to be out the door, it's perfect, and it literally never fails me. So that's enough talking, let's just get right into the tutorial. First things first, I'm going to go in with skincare per usual. I'm using my Embryolisse cream, and I'm just going to grab the tiniest amount. Don't do too much of this because then it's just going to make your makeup slide around and it's not going to be cute. I'm going to apply it all over my face and I'll give it a minute to soak in. I don't want to go in with my makeup directly after this. I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes. While that's soaking in, I want to make sure that I also prep my lips because I don't want them to look crusty when I want to do my lipstick. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Vaseline. You can use Vaseline, Aquaphor. Dr. Pawpaw is one of my absolute favorites. I use that in my kit. But Vaseline's just what I have right here, and I'm applying that with my finger to my lips, and I'm going to let that soak in as well. I've been absolutely loving the REM foundation. Mine is in the shade Light 5N, and I just do one single pump on my brush. This is the Moda Brush Stippler brush. I like to dab it all over my face or warm it up on the back of my hand first. That's honestly a better way to do it, but today I'm just going to go right in with dots all over my face, and then I'm going to start working it in. I use stippling motions like this, buffing motions, but I never swipe. That's just going to make my makeup streaky. So it takes a little bit more time, but the end result is so much better. Just kind of work this product in all over. Now for concealer, I'm going in with my NARS Soft Matte Pot Concealer. I like this stuff because it gives good coverage, but it doesn't look thick on the skin if it's used properly. Don't use too much. And I'm just taking a little bit on the end of my sponge. This is my Stephanie Lynn Cosmetics sponge from my makeup brand. I'll link that down below. I'm using this dry as well. I don't need it to be wet for this step. And then I'm just going to go where I have discoloration. That would be any blemishes or pimples. I don't have any right now, but I like to apply this lightly under my eye because I do get some purple discoloration. It just helps me to look a little bit more awake, and I like the way that it evens out my skin tone. Okay, now I'm grabbing my setting powder. I use the Huda Beauty Baking and Setting Powder, and mine is in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake. It has more of a pink undertone. I like to just dip my brush into the mesh piece right here, and I feel like I get enough powder that way, and then I tap out the excess. I like to start under my eyes, okay, and I'm doing light layers. I'm not putting on a ton of powder. I'm just lightly setting my entire face because I am going to come back to this powder. So I don't want it to be heavy right now. I'm just trying to take away shine, really. All right, next up is bronzer. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and I just go in with the same exact brush for powder, bronzer, and blush. I know that's a little weird, but I find that it blends everything together really well. And I'm just going to lightly do this on the outer edges of my face and my cheekbone. I like to blend upward. That way we're lifting the face rather than dragging it down. I'm also going to do this on my forehead, my chin, and a little bit on my nose because I like how that looks. Okay, my bronzer is done. Now for blush, I like to use a really bright pink because I think it opens up my face a lot. But pick a color that's going to look best on you. This one even has a little bit of shimmer in it, which I like because it acts as a highlighter as well. So I get a little bit of glow to my skin. And I'm just placing this upwards on my cheekbone, trying to keep it towards the back of my face. That way I'm not, dragging my face down. Like I said before, I want to use everything in an upward motion to really get that lift. You can see here is one side with blush and then one side without. It just adds color and brings life back into the face. Okay, after my blush is done, I go in with my powder again. I would say if you have super dry skin, you probably wouldn't want to do this, but for me, it just keeps my makeup on all day and my skin doesn't really get too dry from it, so I feel like it's okay because I am working in really light layers, so the amount of product I'm applying is basically similar to if I were to be baking. I'm just doing it in 2 separate steps instead of 1, and I'm using this all over my entire face again. I find that it just blends my bronzer and my blush together really well, and then like I said, it keeps my makeup on a very long time. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little mini brow tutorial within this video because this is my makeup routine every day. But I feel like I have found the easiest hack, invented, I should say, the easiest hack for filling in your eyebrows, and I literally think it works on everyone. So what I do first is I start at the very front of my brow, and I'm just going to draw a straight line using a brow pencil from the front to my arch. So right under the front there, straight across to the arch. Okay, so once my line is drawn, I go in the front of my brow here, and I very lightly fill in the front. I don't care if this looks messy or a little too angular right now because I'm gonna go back to it later. Then I take a spoolie and I'm going to go from the arch of my brow all the way to the tail, and I'm gonna brush every single hair completely downward. It looks crazy, but guys, trust the process. Then I have all my hair brushed downward everywhere that I can see skin like visible through my brows. I'm going to fill in, and this is usually right in front of the arch, the whole arch, and then some in the tail. Once I have everything filled in, I take my spoolie again. I really brush upward on the front of my brow to soften that fill-in we did there, and then I just take and I brush all my hairs in the proper direction, and then I get a nice filled in eyebrow. You can just see the difference between the eyebrow that I filled in and the eyebrow that I didn't. This one looks a lot fuller, the angle on the arch is better, and she's just looking a lot cleaner, so let me go ahead and do this one. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I just go ahead and I set my brows with a brow gel. I use the MAC brow set, but whatever you like is fine. I just find this helps keeps the hair in place all day. Now, a lot of the time I wear eyeshadow because I like how it looks and I do a lot of bold looks, but if I'm keeping this to my true everyday routine, what I normally do when I'm just running errands or not doing anything too special is I just wear a wing instead of eyeshadow. I like to use the Urban Decay liquid liner because it's a brush tip. It's not a felt tip. If you could work with a felt tip, that's fine. You could totally use that. But for me, I find that I get so much more control with a brush tip. So I just go ahead and do my wings with that. I have you guys a little bit closer so you can kind of see how I do my wings. I just start with a line from the outer corner of my eye. So I would go from here to there, just a straight line out, and then I'm going to fill in my entire lash line with eyeliner. So I'm just going to draw a straight line across my whole top of my eye. All right, now that I have my eyeliner over the entire top portion of my eye, I'm gonna connect the wing to that. So I like to start from the outer edge of the wing here, just behind where I want my actual tip of my wing to be. So if I want my tip of my wing to be the end of this line, I'm gonna come in just a little, and I'm gonna draw a straight line connecting that to the rest of my eyeliner. And I just go ahead and I fill that entire thing in. And you're gonna see there's a little gap where it's not meeting. That's because I have to go and actually draw that up to the eyeliner, like that. So then I get that connection. This is what the wing looks like from the front, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add one to this eye. Okay, now that my wings are on, I'm gonna go ahead and add mascara. My two favorites are the Anastasia Lash Sculpt and the One Size one. I'm not actually sure what this is called. It's called the Fantasize mascara, and I think that's the one I'm gonna go with today, but the Anastasia one is actually my all-time favorite. When applying mascara, I find that it's actually best to kind of look at your lashes from a 3/4 angle because I feel like you can really see every single lash. Instead of looking at it straight on, it's hard to see the little lashes that hide in the corner of your eyes. So this is the way I like to apply it because I'm really reaching everything, coating everything, and it's gonna make my lashes look the longest and the fullest. Here is just one coat on the top. Now I'm gonna go do another coat on my bottom lash. Same thing, 3/4 angle, both eyes, 2 full coats. This is the difference that I'm getting with mascara. I feel like this is a vital step for makeup because it just opens up the eye so much. And yeah, I love this one. It's really, really good. It gives me all the volume that I would ever need. For finishing up my makeup routine, I'm going to blot off the Vaseline that I did in the beginning of this tutorial. That's because if I were to apply my lip products over it, it's just gonna make them slide around. So I just take a tissue or a makeup wipe, whatever I have, and I just dab off all of that product. All right, guys, and for my lips, I never wear the same thing like every single day. I switch it up depending on my outfit. So for today, I just went with the NYX Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Angel Food Cake. It's one of my favorites. I hate when that happens. All right, guys, and that finishes up today's look. Like I said, this is my 10-minute everyday routine. So super easy, super quick, and it never lets me down. I love this look. I do a wing every single day. It's honestly becoming my signature. And then I love that I can always switch up the lip if I wanted to make this look more bold. But anyways, I would love to hear what you do for your makeup routine. So definitely let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.